Let me think about this just a second. Hold tight. I get it. That's why I like being by myself, because it makes you have to think. It makes you have to figure out ways to do things by yourself. So hold tight. So since Sunday's video was a review video, I'll do one on my Ranger here today. And at the end of this video is a deer hunt from this morning where I killed a 9-point and loaded it in the Ranger. It's kind of funny loading it, because I feel them loading it, putting it all in there. So hang around and watch that commotion going on, me trying to get that deer in the back of the Ranger. So what I did was, and you'll see what I did in the video, but what I did, I went to Horrible Freight a while ago and I picked up one of these 2,500 pound winches, and I'm going to mount it on that 2x6 right there, and I'm going to run it off of my NOCO jump box. That's how I'm going to run it, just connect it to it and use it. That way it'll make life a lot more pleasant trying to load a deer in the bed of the Ranger right there. So, and I can take it out and all that, unbolt. All I'm going to do is just put some carriage bolts on it, just hold it that 2x6, and we're just going to let her ride just like that. But so this thing just turned a year old. It's a 2020 570 full-size Ranger. I really don't hardly have any complaints with this thing. I've only got two kind of negatives about it that I'm not crazy about, but they're no big deal. So far, I have been very, very happy with it. I hate what they cost. I wished I'd have got one a long time ago, because I didn't realize how useful it would be for me for what I do, because I keep this 2x6 in here all the time, wedged in here, and I can set 2 chainsaws, and set one going that way and then one going back this way, and it holds it up against the front of the bed right there, and it don't bounce around. I got the 570. I just could not see spending the $4,000 extra to get the 1,000. And I talked to Jason in Hollis Farms a good bit, you know, about it, his thoughts and all that. His last one he got was a 1,000, and I could have bought one, but I just didn't want to do it. So what I did was I spent the money that the 1,000 would have cost kind of accessorizing it. And I put the front bumper on it, the front light on it right there. I had that done at the dealer. It's got a 4,500 pound remote control winch on it. Really like the winch. Got a synthetic rope on it. It's a 2-speed winch too, so it's got a high speed and a low pulling speed. So if you want to select the cable in really fast, it will do it for you. So I changed the tires and wheels out. I already had the rims, and I took them off of my 700 Polaris that I've got out there, which I've still got it. I took them off of it and then bought the ITP mud lights, put on it. Those are 27s. Went up a notch on my coil springs right there to where it would lift the front end just a little bit. To give me, I needed a little bit more clearance. They were rubbing if I turned sharp all the way, so got that taken care of. And I really like the tires. The tires are very good on it. The way everything on it, the way I've got it set up, is turned out really, really nice. So I put those tires all the way around it. I bought the seat covers. They were about $70 or so for seat covers. I got them at the dealer. Really happy with them, because the dogs can get up here on it and they won't hurt the seats or anything like that. Well, there's 3 things I don't like about this thing. I just thought of another one. I put an ArmorTech kind of cab on it. Love it. It's got a real glass front glass in it, real rear glass in it, slider in the back. It's got the back right here in the roof. I took and there's a remote for the winch right there on the thing, and then I got a phone mount right there that'll hold my phone magnetic. Put a Bluetooth speaker system in it. That's the Boss system, the BRT 26A. You can find all that on my Amazon link there. Like that. Bought the mirrors to go on it. Mirrors are really cool, being able to see behind you. I put rock lights inside here. These are red. They're really nice. Like in the mornings or late in the evenings when I'm loading stuff in the Ranger and cut them on, they're not blinding me, and I can still see real well. Just they're pretty nice like that. And then I had a rear backup light put on the back, which is the same brand that's on the front. It's just a cube style is all it is. So you can see the back. I did put a back bumper on it. It's got one there on it too. It's pretty nice. And you see the mirror on this side over here. I've not had no trouble with it. I've got, let's see here. What do we got on this bad boy here? Let's just check it and see. I've got 166 hours on it right there. And 758 miles on it is what is on it currently. There's my switches. They put pop-outs in here where you can do them. This is the front lights. That's the backup light. And then this is the interior lights right here. That's what that is. And I got one more pop-out if I want to put something else right there on it. Like I said, that's a magnetic phone mount. All my phones, I just use plates on them. And even riding this thing rough roads, it's not, the phone's not going anywhere like that, set up like that. It's got good storage on it. You can put a lot of stuff. I got a 12-volt battery there and another 12-volt battery over there and all that. The glove box seals up. That's real important because there's a lot of dust that comes in this thing, and that's one thing I don't like about it. So it's very handy having that glove box. So I can keep stuff in there and keep it, and it stays sealed and don't get all that dust inside there. I like that a lot because like I said, that's one of the drawbacks on this thing that I don't like. So every time I go put out corn, I load it down with corn and all, or the fertilizer spreader over there, hook it to it and take off with it. But I like it a lot, and it's got plenty of power for 570, fuel injected, runs good. Derek's got a Can-Am. There's some things about the Can-Am. I mean, I like the Can-Am, but there's some things about it that I don't like also. And he's got the 1000 is what he's got on his. All right, so some of the dislikes on this thing. You have to watch this thing. Some of y'all watch my videos for a while. If you pull this thing down the road in heavy rain on a trailer, the way my trailer and everything's set up, the buffeting off the side of the vehicle, it makes that wind come back and hit, and this is your air intake for your drive belt right there. And I have had one time that forced water into there and got my belt wet a little bit. So what I do now is if I'm gonna travel or something like that, or I'm gonna be pulling the rain, I just take a piece of Gorilla Tape, stick it on there, and be done with it. You can snorkel it. I don't want to snorkel it. I think that takes away from it if you go to try to resell it, because the first thing people are going to think you've been riding in deep water and all that. And I know I don't want one that's been in deep water. I don't want one that's been sunk or nothing like that. That's one of the drawbacks that I'm not crazy about right there, is that I wish that Polaris did a little bit different on the intake on that right there, so that wouldn't happen and solve that problem. It's an easy engineering deal that they could do a little bit different, so that buffeting coming off the side of your vehicle as you're running 80 miles an hour down the road, 75, 80 miles an hour down the road, pulling on the trailer, it's not hitting right there, because it'll actually push these covers up where you can see that one. It'll push the covers up on the seat. The wind comes in just right on right there, and it'll shove that cover in. The other thing that I don't like is the dust. If it's dry and you've got the window up, you can keep the dust from coming in here, but you got to let that window down. You got to lay that window down. That's what I've got this pipe insulation for right here, is you can lay that window and it sits right on that pipe insulation right there. You don't have to worry about it on this metal pipe or anything. So if you open this window right here and let it down, it'll put air pressure in here, and that dust won't come in with you too bad. I don't like the dust. I mean, you can see it over there. I mean, if you've got this up, the dust is unreal. And not only right there, but even in the bed back here. If you lay something in the bed, I mean, it'll completely cover it in dust. I wish there was a better way for the airflow to get around these things where the dust wasn't just that bad on them like that. But it is what it is. Even on a cold day like this morning, it's bad cold out there today here. Wind's blowing like crazy. You can jump in this thing, take off. I love it. Be able to lay my gun in there. Not having to worry about mud slinging up on it, nothing like that. Or even in the rain, if it's raining, you can ride this thing with that cab on it and you won't get wet at all riding it like that. But trying to think, it's got a lot of grease fittings on it. And I'm not so crazy about all of them because it's got quite a few of them on. It's got 2 up here on the front, and then there's 4 on these control arms back here on the back, and then there's 1 on the sway bar arm or whatever it is on each side of it. So you double all of them, plus you got 1 on your drive shaft down there too, the grease. And you can go a while before you have to grease them, but I grease them about every couple of weeks or so of riding there, and it depends on how much I ride or anything. I wish they would have done something which I could fix it to kind of help deter some of that mud from like going up that away frontwards. It's a real easy fix to put some mud flaps up there, bolt them on. I just hadn't had the time to do it or fool with it or get it done like that. And that's not that big a deal to me. It's real simple to work on. The battery and everything's right under the seat. Just snatch the seat up. It just pops in there. Just snatch the seat up, get it out. Servicing it is very, very simple. About 15 minutes oil change, you're done. I change the oil in it and service it every 100 hours. I put air filter and everything in it because I'm usually riding in the dust during that 100 hours a good bit. So I go ahead and throw an air filter in it too and get it done. It costs about, for the Polaris kit's about $70, I think, with the oil kit and the oil filter and then the air filter on top of that. The under the hood right here is real nice. They've got the bus bar over here where you can connect up auxiliary stuff. Made it real simple to get to that and do all that stuff like that. But I've been really happy with it since I've had this thing. And the complaints that I got with it, they're minimal. I mean, I guess probably the number one complaint is the dust. Man, before I figured out to start letting that window down, there was sometimes I'd be riding this thing this summer and I would look around and it'd just be this haze of dust all over me. Well, you can see it on the seats all the way across there and then on the dash. It does get, it's not as bad as some of the older Rangers, because some of the older Rangers you actually basically sit on top of the engine. And this one here, they've moved the engine back on them, and they've been doing that for a few years now. But you still get, the heat's not too bad on the seat. I get heat coming from the radiator up there when the fan cuts on. The heat blows up through the steering column, which during the wintertime is pretty nice because it blows a little warm air on you. During the summertime, I don't really like it that much. But I like the tilt steering in it. I do like that. That's a pretty cool feature on it. Oh, so there's one other thing that is a kind of a dislike on it. It's a little bit hard to find reverse on this thing. And I've had it looked at, and you can adjust the linkage on it right there, and that has not really helped it any, trying to adjust that. But the reverse sometimes is a little bit finicky to get it in. So what I did was, before the 1 year warranty ran out on it, I went back over there to the dealer, and they had a company that they get policies from for extended stuff. And I picked up another 4 years extended warranty on this for all your major components on it. And it was not that bad at all. I mean, it was way less than $1,000 for 4 more years on top of the year that it came with it on there. So I got warranty on all the major stuff all the way up to 2024. And I just felt like that was maybe the thing for me to do. That way, if I did have a transmission trouble with it or something down the road, I wouldn't be out, you know, anything as far as that goes, other than just, you know, not having a machine. But if you're on the fence about the Armor Tech, I highly recommend it. That's some good stuff. That was a good move. I was going to put just a regular plastic roof and some sort of windshield in it, and so Keith over there at Adventure, where I bought it from, is a good guy. Really been doing business with Keith forever. He said, look, man, he said, if you're going to do that, he said, let's just go ahead. He said, let me put an Armor Tech on it. He said, knowing you, he said, you'll be really happy with that. And I was like, okay, dude. And I said, and I didn't even look at one. He just showed me a picture of what one looked like. And I was like, yeah, I said, that'll work. I said, go ahead and do that. I like people like that. They know me. They know what I like, kind of my style. And that's what I did on that. And just put that Armor Tech on there. And I don't regret that at all. They make doors for it that you can put on it, but I don't think I'll ever put no doors on. I think I'll just leave it just like that right there. Unless you sealed it up, you wouldn't want doors on it during the summertime, because that thing can get kind of brutal in there. During the summer, it can get warm on you. But man, it is handy having that bed back there. Good grief. I didn't realize how much I would like that over a four-wheeler. But the only drawback between this and a four-wheeler is turning this thing around compared to a four-wheeler. A four-wheeler is just absolutely nothing to it, to spinning around a little tight spot. This right here takes a little bit more effort to get it turned around. So if you're, you know, thinking about one, that's just my thoughts on it and my likes and dislikes on it. And so there you go. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all enjoy this deer hunt coming up here real quick. It's actually pretty funny. So we'll catch y'all later. Later, taters. All right, so I just shot a really good deer. He was standing right in here and went right up the hill right here. See, there's his tracks where he was trying to get up the hill. Okay. He came right up here. There he is, laying right there. Can you see him? Let's see here. Everything's wet. We're actually getting some sleet right now. Alright. So he came right through here. That's where he came. It's early still. But it ain't getting light yet. You can see where he's starting to go down. You can see where he ran into this tree right here. Look at his rack. There's a body on that deer. It's all blood over there. I'll show y'all where the bullet went in. Right there in the shoulder. Shooting a .257 Weatherby Magnum. So that deer actually came out. I couldn't even see him. The only reason I knew he was there was by my camera sending me a picture. So I had to sit there and wait for it to get enough light to where I could even pick him out. Finally got enough light. I shot him at 6:26. Normally it'd be sun to be up by then, but man, this morning we actually getting a little sleet this morning, just a little bit, and some rain mixed with it too. So now I got to get this joker loaded up. I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna do this, or how I hope to do this. So what I did, I made me up a little double pulley system, kind of rigged it up. We're gonna see how this works. Pick this deer up, get it in the back of this Ranger here. Let me get it untied. All right, so what I did, I just got me a piece of paracord. I got a loop and an eye on each end, and I'm just gonna stick it through it. You'd be breathing hard too if you drug this joker. That dude's got a body on him now. I'm not sure what he weighs, but he's a toad. So I'm just gonna do it like that, and then hook it in that carabiner right there. All right, let's see if this will work. I think I can get it off. Let me think about this just a second. Y'all hold tight. I get it. That's why I like being by myself, because it makes you have to think. Makes you have to figure out ways to do things by yourself. So hold tight. So that worked, but it didn't work great. It didn't work like what I kind of wanted it to. So we'll do something different next time. Well, it wasn't pretty, but I got it done by myself. That's all that matters. Dang. That's a big body on that deer. I'm gonna go over and pull him over that way and then shut the tailgate here. He's a 9-point. That's what he is. So it is Cyber Week this week. There's the new red colors that I got in Cotton Top 3 stuff. Got the logo on the back and on the front pocket there. I've been hit pretty hard on the caps and some of the other stuff. I'm still okay on. I'm getting a little low on some things, but got a bunch of orders come in over the weekend. If you're interested in anything, I got regular pullover hoodies and zippered hoodies. I prefer the zippered ones, but some people really like the pullover style, so I got both of them sitting there. But if you're interested in anything and need something for one of your Cotton Top 3 fans, look it up on the website. I still got the few beanies left right there too. Got that. I got plenty of koozies. Got plenty of them. And then plenty of stickers. So anyhow, hope y'all enjoy watching all that. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.